And modern fiction for May, new books. Here's great German short stories. You might want to try picking up some short stories sometime. Some of them are a page long, and I think you might like them, especially if you don't have a lot of time to read. There's ones in here by Franz Kafka, and then a bunch of all other people I don't know. Thomas Mann. But yeah, if you don't have a lot of time, try short stories, because you might. Sometimes some of the best stories can only be should only be written in a few pages, just to capture what the author. Often the authors think of an idea as some kind of event that they want to write about, and then they got the other 300 pages they have to come up with as they go. But in a short story, you can do it all in the exact number of pages you need. You don't have no filler, right? Here's C.S. Forester, The Age of Fighting Sail. This is part of you may have heard of the Hornblower series. They're historical fiction based on the Navy, but usually I think it's historical boats. It's not like contemporary Navy or anything like that. So for example, here's a couple pictures. But I got one of them just to see what it's like. There's some pictures of some boats. So that's one of the books, The Age of Fighting Sail. This was printed in 5868. Just going to see if they have a series list. Oh yeah, here's the Hornblowers. There's the Hornblower list, although I suppose you could just look it up on Wikipedia. You don't need me to there it is there. You don't need me to tell you what they are. You can always just look them up. Okay, here's one. Bomber by Len Deighton, or Deighton. This apparently is about World War II bombing runs. And one of the interesting aspects of this is, what does it take for someone to drop bombs on country, drop bombs on a military site, or even drop bombs on apartment buildings with civilians? It was done by both sides in World War II. What does it take for a person to do that? This conception of, we're fighting the enemy. Is that enough to drop bombs on civilians? Interesting. Would you do it? Would you push that button, I guess is the question. Here's a pretty popularist book, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larson. There's another one out, something about fire. Anyways, the font is, why do that? Here, look at the font size in the book. Look at the font size. Why have such large font so that the book is 850 pages? Why do that? The book could have been 500 pages. I bet you, if this font was smaller and the margins are okay, but the spacing in between the sentences could have been less too. I just don't understand why people do that. Why increase the volume of the book? Does that appeal to people? Wow, that's a thick book. There must be something of essence there. I hope that's not a consideration for people to pick up books. You may know that this was printed in 05, 08. You may know that Leo Tolstoy in Russia at the time was paid by the page by the Queen at the time. Was it Catherine? I don't know. But ever since I found that out, I've been skeptical about reading Leo Tolstoy, because I just wonder, Anna Karenina is big, War and Peace is even bigger. How many of that could have been skipped if he wasn't paid by the page? Alright, here's a book I recently got in, Truancy by Isamu Fukui, I guess. It's a book by a high school kid. He authored it in his teens, and apparently it's about an oppressive school that the kid has to go to. So perhaps it is about his own experiences in school, but I thought it was intriguing. How would you like to have been a high school kid and had a book selling on Amazon? How about that? Okay, last bit are some fantasy from Terry Goodkind. Nice hardcovers. Here is Temple of the Winds. Book, oh geez, I don't know which book this one is. It's apparently supposed to be a good series. The series is called The Sword of Truth. This is 97. And this is book 4. Book 4. So I have book 4 in hardcover. Eventually I'd like to get them all in hardcover, but it's going to be slow to get them all. Here's Naked Empire. Naked Empire. That one, Temple of the Winds, one I had to barter for to get. The guy wanted $8.50 for it in a used bookstore, and I said, I'll give you 4. If you take 4, then we'll do the deal. And he accepted, I guess. 2003 is this one, Naked Empire. Naked Empire is like book 7 or something. Book 8 or 6, 7, 8. Book 8. Book 8. Book 8. And I have The Pillars of Creation, which is book 7. And this one was printed. I actually got, this one was printed in 2001. I actually got those two, The Naked Empire and The Pillars of Creation. I got those by trade. I had some books I didn't want. I had this big hardcover. I don't know if no, I don't think you'd see it in any of my previous videos. I had a big hardcover of science fiction movies. Like kind of an encyclopedia, but it's just one volume of sci-fi movies and all kinds of nice pictures, and just the original Star Trek was in there with Kirk, and just a tour of science fiction movies from, I don't know if it was the beginning until like the 70s or something. And they gave me, how much was a store credit? They either would have given me, I don't know if it was like $8 cash or $15 store credit. So I took the store credit and I just bought those 2 books because they were $7 each or something. That's worthwhile, I think. Alright, so that's it for modern fiction for May.